Let us see the one example with JDBC using, in a Spring. So look at here, Spring framework. So Spring with DAO and JDBC example. What we have to do here, we need to create a package. Sorry, before creating a package, let us create a one project, a Java project. So just click right, and this is a new Java project. Okay, so we'll give the name here as Spring DAO example one. And once we have created the project, create a package here, com.isaac, and then say right click and go to the my clips and then say add hibernate, add Spring capabilities. So once you are adding the Spring capabilities here, that time you have to select the Spring 2.0 persistent JDBC libraries. Earlier in the example we were using the core libraries, right, and AOP, but AOP I don't require here. You just need to add this JDBC libraries here. Once you have added these libraries, okay, you are ready with this uh, packages of whatever we are having in the JDBC, right? Like core, support, and object, and uh, JDBC, right? So, and create a package. Once we have done this, we'll create a one class, and let us say I created a class name is a person here. Okay, having three properties: person ID, first name, and last name. In turn, we are having some getter setter method for that. So get PID and set PID, we get first name and get last name, right? So it is there. Now once we have written the code for the person class, come back to here and make a new class and then say manager. Okay, create a client program here having a main method. Okay, now we are throwing one exception, data access exceptions. Okay, now what we are doing at this level, we are looking for the application context.xml, and we are getting the person object here, person bean. So beans.getBean. So in that application.xml, you have to describe the bean details. I mean, this is the code here we are having, right? So I have a person class, right, giving a bean id as a obj, and this is my PID value and first name and last name, right? So this property we have set here in the application context.xml. Now see the more details in the configurations which we have done in the main method of my manager class. So once we have created object here, we are saying get PID and get first name and get last name. So this will display here just from the bean itself, right? But now this data I want to insert into the table of some of the database. So what we are doing here, we are using driver manager data source. Where is this guy? It is available in the data source. That four package is there, right? In JDBC, remember, a data source and the core package and the object, right? And support. These are the four packages. So I'm using driver manager data source. DMDS equal to new driver manager data source, and then we are saying here DMDS dot set driver class name. So this is my driver class. This is a URL, username and password, right? So this is set username, set password, set URL. So we are setting all the connections properties with the driver manager data source. Once we are ready, we can say JDBC template from the core package, and then we are saying template equal to new JDBC template. This is a core class for the JDBC core package. Okay, and then we are saying template dot set data source. What data source? DMDS, which we have created here, which we have set properties, right? And then by using this template object, we are saying template dot execute. What execute? Create table person with PID first name and last name. So it will create one table now, and then say the message will come table created. If you want to insert the record, I have to give a separate code template.execute, and I have to write insert statement there, insert into table person, and then I have to do, right? So we'll see the whether table has been created or not. So you can see this record here that it is just displaying the values from getter method, right? And finally I'm getting the message that table has been created. So you can explore your database. You go to the database properties and you can see the table which has been created here, right? So what is the table name? Person table with PID first name and last name, right? Okay. So by this way we can do connectivity. We can use data, what I said here, I can use driver manager data source now, right? So instead of displaying here, I want to store to the database table. So table has been created at this level. Now we are writing one query insert into person values. So p.get and all. So we are ready with one query here. And then what we are doing? Template execute query. So this query will get executed and row will be inserted here. So message will come row has been inserted. So one record get inserted, right? Now you can see clearly the record is in the table. So we are getting the record display in the table here, right? Now this configuration which we have done, this configuration we have done in a main class, right? I mean manager class. So what we can do, this guy, we can put it into the XML file that we have application context.xml. No need to write here. So there's a different ways. This is one way to implement the data driver manager data source. I mean JDBC example. Let us try to do with XML file now. So getting data source through configuration file. Okay. Now look at this code in the application context.xml. So this is your bean declaration, right? This is your bean declaration. Now I have another bean ID, DMDS, and then we are saying driver manager data source, driver class, URL, username, password, everything we are declaring here, right? And then we are saying another bean ID template, and then we are saying JDBC template, and having auto wire by type. So once we call this JDBC template, okay, and DMDS will get invoked. So we are closing this bean there, right? Now you can see this code here. I am not writing here this driver manager data source, right? So I just commented this whole stuff here, right? What I'm doing here, I'm just saying bean dot get bean template, right? That was my ID. In turn, I'm getting the template here, and by using that template I can say execute, and I can pass any query here, and that query will get executed, right? So here I have explained through how we can do this configuration in the application context.xml, right? So that's all about the Spring with JDBC.